What's the point in optimizing our retirement plan? Why bother with Roth conversions or tax efficient investing? We can do all the right things to put more money in our pockets, but in the end, what difference does it make? Well, not to worry. New York Times bestselling author Tim Ferriss has the answer. Welcome to another episode of A Worthwhile Retirement. I am Jacob George. I'm sorry to disappoint, but Tim Ferriss will not be joining us today. That would be pretty amazing. Today's episode will be the first in a two-part series exploring what money is for. So, let's get started. In 2007, Tim Ferriss wrote the best-selling book, The 4-Hour Workweek. This is a great book, by the way. If you've never read through it before, I highly recommend it. And in this book, Tim outlines solutions for liberating yourself from a 9-to-5 drudgery for people who feel stuck in their 9-to-5. He teaches on how to enjoyably earn an income and optimize the income stream while being as efficient with your time as possible. He also then gives travel tips and tools for how to spend your newfound free time. And at the book's core, Tim Ferriss teaches on how to enjoy life. However, he got one thing terribly wrong. In a chapter titled, The Point of It All, drumroll please, Tim Ferriss says this: I believe that life exists to be enjoyed, and that the most important thing is to feel good about yourself. He goes on to give examples of how you might actualize this. You could work with orphans, compose music, and his own personal mission to love, be loved, and never stop learning. And all of this is written in a section of the book called Filling the Void. That void, that emptiness that Tim is referring to, is essentially this: that once you're retired from 9-to-5 life, it is very natural that questions begin to crop up. Questions like, what does it all mean? What should I do with my life? Is this as good as it gets? And one question that really stuck out to me: why am I not happy? I can do anything, and I'm still not happy. So what do we do about this? Tim Ferriss's advice: filling the void, distracting yourself, not giving these questions too much thought, because there is no good answer. Instead, become so engrossed in living life to the fullest that you don't even have time to overthink with questions like these. It was at this point in the book that it became evident that Tim Ferriss's worldview is one that I did not share. I don't claim to know the details of his beliefs, but he does seem to say that he doesn't know why he is here. But I do. I know that Tim Ferriss is here because God put him here. Because God wanted Tim to be made, so that God could enjoy having a relationship with him, and so that Tim could find true fulfillment in that relationship, and only in that relationship. But Tim Ferriss illustrates an excellent point. Without God, there is no hope. So you might as well have as much fun as you can before you die. And Tim doesn't appear to be alone in this line of thinking. Just take a look around. You don't need to look very hard to see a world full of people who seem to believe that the purpose of money is to have as much fun as they can before they die, living this life as if this is all there is. And when I'm not careful, I tend to get sucked into this line of thinking as well. It is so prevalent today. Maybe it's always been this way, but it certainly seems to permeate our culture. But perhaps that's a conversation for another day. Of course, we know that the most important thing in life is not to feel good about ourselves. And maybe, if Tim maintains his mission to love, be loved, and never stop learning, that might lead him to the truth. And he will finally be able to answer his questions, if he wants to. And as for us, it is our job to help guide people to that truth. And what if our money, our material resources, could help us to do that? And what if that is what money is for? And what if the God of the universe has explicitly told us that? See you next time. Hey, thanks for listening. Remember, while I am a financial planner, I'm probably not your financial planner. So that means what you hear in this podcast shouldn't be taken as personal investment, legal, or tax advice specific to your situation, because I don't know your situation. So just make sure that you consult with somebody who does before making major life-altering changes based off of something that you heard on a podcast online. I'll see you next time.